Bilock, ASIO key. Probably not going to succeed at picking this, but you never know. Almost certainly going to have barely any narration because these things suck so bad. I've tried to film it so many times, but we'll see. If I pick it, you'll get narration during the gut. Until then, hello. Oh, yes! Picked it! Alright, technically, it's not entirely picked. You would still need to freak around one sidebar. Can you snip in the back on this? Open up this cam. This sidebar here now re-goes. So it was this one, and now just this side will be binding again. So to pick it all the way, you would need a whoop. Let's not let that slide out. Totally count. Oops, that's on upside down. And like if it was on a container, you would have to lock it, open lock it again. But I have. Let's give it a quick go. It's a bit annoying, but whatever. Let's just shove that all the way in on that side because that side is irrelevant now. Get this side as well, it's a 100% a true pick, and if I don't get it in 5 minutes, I'm going to call it good enough because I am on a deadline today. And having opened this at all, I'm not giving up on this video. Oh, well, I'm out of time, so it's gut now or never. It would have been nice to get the second open, but it's the same thing, just again. So let's gut this thing anyway. You will note in my tray here are 2 ball bearings. They make absolutely no difference to picking, but they are a core retention thing that mean I would have had to pick it all the way back to locked again if I'd have left those in, and I don't really want to do that. They do, however, not make any difference to picking. So they sit, I'll show the housing in a second, 1 ball bearing here, and 1 on the opposite side there, and we'll come back to that. Let's just show as well. Here are the sidebars installed in the correct way. So they have that like a lip up the top. it's the right way, and a lip up the top, that's the right way. If they're upside down, it makes it a heck of a lot easier. Anyway, here is the housing. So we have that main sidebar groove, and this like third one, that's where I snapped to and picked it the first time. And if you can see about halfway down, there's like a ring that runs around the whole way around. So the ball bearings sit in that ring. So to gut it with the ball bearings in, I can demonstrate this quickly. I'll just stick one of them in. Doesn't even need that sidebar. So I showed it off first too. Stick that back in real quick. Come on. Right. Ball bearing in the lock. Stick that in about halfway. See, it won't go in. Take the key. All right. Okay, now turn it to 45 degrees, and now it will go in. And while it's in that position, you could freely turn around. You can't now push it out if it's there, or in the unlocked, only in the 45 degree will it push out with the ball bearing, even with the key. So that's why I left them out for picking. It makes no difference to the feedback. They don't interact while picking at all. It's just core attention method, and yeah, they're annoying. So here's the left side bar. Close up first. There it is. All its nice fingers on. Stick that there as left. This one, same, comes with the springs attached. Right. See, we've got all of our pins in here. Being an ASIO one, they are all offset. And we've got our 13th interactive pin up the front. So let's slide that off, which is relatively easy. We just need to push this brass plate up. Be careful to not let those springs fly off everywhere, and try not to mangle the springs, which is a real hazard. Violence with these covers. So first off, let's just tweeze this out. Settings pin, call that actually pin 1. And then we can slide. I find sliding it pick right down the middle here, slowly, actually tends to be a good way to do it. And just the last couple. Angle. Alright, that's that brass cover plate off. Stick that there. So we've got all of our pins and springs. So I'm going to lay them out, calling this pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to run into issues here, so let's move that down here. Move these sidebars. We got the top actually. Already seen those anyway. And there, so this is all our springs. Perfectly, this tray has just the right amount of slots. Alright, so interactive pin is here on the side. This is what blocks that sidebar. So that one comes out. I'll put that down here. That's a 2-part pin. Once that bar's out, the other half just falls through. Just like that. Alright. Pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's that ball bearing falling back out. You go there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew. Alright, so there they are in the housing, all offset, front pin at the front. So this is a 2nd gen, we call them the ASIO ones, but they're like the high security, SCEC rated, but basically they're the high security ones you can get. The 3rd gen are the new ones, which I can't remember. Oops, I'm just flying pins off the exact differences, but basically it's got the like a Bilock exclusive, but the ASIO version. ASIO being like Australian CIA, I guess. Yeah. As well as anything like high security government, these are the main high security rated mechanical lock for things. They never come mastered. They're not allowed to come mastered. They never come with multiple keys or anything else either. Oh, and one of the springs is for this. Why don't we put that over there? Okay. All right. So if I give you a close up, you'll see that every single pin, or slider, technically they're sliders, but they look pin shaped and everyone calls them pins. Let's see there, you can see everything. Every single one of them has 2 false gates and a true gate. So this one here is a max lift. The sidebar sits at the top up there. So 1 false gate it basically starts in to that one. So lots of max lifts on this one, 2, 3. 4 is not quite a max lift, medium, near low lift. So whoops, medium, low, medium, low. So that's how they work. All of them with false gates. If you overset something, you're basically stuffed. You've got to start that side again. Yeah, I think that's about all there is to say. I certainly don't really have time to talk about it anymore because I've got to cook dinner or I'm going to get in trouble. But yeah, that's how it works. So when this sidebar is in, that's the only thing I still haven't said. There's this, obviously can contract all the way in like that. When this blocker thing is in, which if I can try and install it like this, just fall through, but let's try and get it in. When that is in, yeah, come on, try and line that up. Oh, not easy to do. There we go. So it sits in like so. There we go. And it sort of stops this sidebar retracting in all of the way. You can see like I'm pushing on it and it just doesn't quite go all the way in. So then if you just push up that pin a tiny bit, it'll pop and the sidebar can go all the way in. So it just stops this sidebar going in. That is all the NG, the new gen Bilocks have that feature. That's that interactive element here on the front. So it pushes down and it lifts the pin up on the front and the middle there. That's what that is. But on normal Bilocks, that's mechanism sits on the other side, where it does the which sidebar it blocks. But the ASIO ones it blocks on the left. Just something different. Also, lots of people ask about why do these ones have the keys offset instead of matched. I should have a normal Bilock here to show, but I don't, so oh well. Basically it's key control. The only way you can get the blanks, because these are a bit longer as well, and the only machines that cut these ones offset in the Bilock factory. That's why we've got a BAA, that's the Bilock. AA is the Bilock factory code. Other places have different manufacturer codes. And that's Australian Lock Company. So you can only get keys for these from the Bilock factory themselves, and they will not make you extra ones. If you lose these ones for an ASIO one, you're basically stuffed. And that's all there is. So I have a few of them, but they're mostly key different. Cool locks, very cool locks. All right. Yep, there'll be some time lapse to cut through some of the boring sections of that. But yeah, really happy to have that one picked.